This is an A6 sketchbook. The brand is Sea White of Brighton and it is a landscape format. The cover of the sketchbook is inspired by an abstract painting my mother produced. The inside cover is an imaginative design. There's been no reference used. I've used gouache to colour the piece. It's just simply to serve as an introduction to my sketchbook. Continuing from the abstract cover, on the right I've applied some paint directly from the tube straight to the page. It's just all about the serendipity, happy accident of seeing what comes about, the results, the surprise. This is a sketch in one of the Caffeine coffee shops in Leeds city centre. It's rather an unusual viewpoint, viewed from the first floor, looking down the stairs. These are portraits of people mainly on public transport, using a ballpoint pen and a black fibre tip pen. I wouldn't say they're particularly well observed, they're just quick, rapid sketches, just trying to get a flavour of the subject. On the right hand page, a sketch of the famous Salford artist L.S. Lowry. I produced this in Sam's Chop House, a pub Lowry used to frequent, and at the bar they have a life-size figure of L.S. Lowry. The lady behind the bar requested the sketch. I've actually reproduced this. This is a photographic print of the sketch. This is a pen sketch of a plaster bust, which makes for a fantastic practice, learning about the relationships of the facial features, the eyes to the point of the nose to the chin, so on and so forth. Turning the page, pen sketches of a car and this fellow on the right hand page. I remember seeing this chap on the train. I do remember producing this drawing, just working very brisk. This is more of a linear technique, being less reliant on shade, which is something I'm really trying to strive towards. I particularly like this chap's hands. Oh dear, this is rather lacking. This is an interior sketch of a Costa coffee shop in Manchester city centre, and I just simply didn't invest the time in the piece. These two pages show very different approaches to the same subject. People sat in a coffee shop. A couple on the left holding hands, very reliant on dark and light, whereas on the right hand page it says just as much, but with more pure line, and it's that really I'm trying to strive for in my future work. One of the downfalls of my work is portraits such as these can appear as almost a caricature, a cartoon, only down to poor observation. It is something I'm very mindful of. I love drawing hands. They are such a complex thing to draw convincingly. None of us need ever feel short of anything to draw. We've always got our hand, we've always got our weak or less dominant hand that we can actually use as reference. Yet more people I've observed, as I mentioned, pictures through poor observation can appear at times to be just a caricature, and this really illustrates that point. Very disappointing. On the left hand page, a sketch of the interior of a train. On the right hand page, again I'm just utilising the plaster busk. And just to the right, the landlord of the ale station. I don't think he'd be particularly pleased with those pictures. Poor observation. Naughty me. I always try to use every page in my sketchbook. This is sometimes rather difficult, especially when the sketchbook is nearing completion and you just really want to get the book finished so you can start with a new sketchbook. I want to develop my skills and grow as an artist, and in order to do that I have to try different techniques, different ways of answering the same question, and that's really what I try to do in my sketchbook. I always find drawing a vehicle, a car for instance, is a very difficult task. With all the curves, both gentle and severe, it does make for quite a challenge. Pen sketches, again different approaches. I don't normally use two-dimensional reference. However, on this occasion, I copied this portrait of Sir Henry Tate from the menu of the Sir Henry Tate pub. On the right-hand page is the view from the Sir Henry Tate pub, looking across the car park towards the council offices. Oh dear, On the left, different pen portraits. Unfortunately, they've acquired the look of a cartoon, of a caricature. And on the right, I was particularly interested in the way the light was falling onto the canopy and casting shadows below. The content of my sketchbook is wide-ranging. It includes the people, the places, the everyday, and the bizarre which I encounter. I always try to work in the first instance from life, from observation. It's the best way to improve. I very rarely produce things from my imagination. That's not what my artwork is all about. My artwork is about actually seeing the world and trying to record it my way. I believe that an artist is a creative decision maker, and it's that authority which makes creativity so empowering. One of the reasons I sketch is to help me develop greater confidence in the creative decisions I make. A couple of sketches I produced whilst enjoying a coffee in Cafe Nero on Oxford Street in Manchester. On the left, this fellow was busy texting on his mobile phone, and on the right I was particularly caught by the way the light was striking the chair. Let's not talk about the left-hand page. On the right-hand page is a biro sketch of my reflection in a train window. I was quite satisfied with the outcome. A rare inclusion of some colour using a red and blue pen to accompany the black. This is in Cafe Nero yet again, and it's a view through the rear glass door looking towards where a BMW car was parked. Charity box that was on the bar top in the ale station. I think I've captured this dog rather well. 3 very different subjects. They all have, however, one thing in common, that they were actually drawn from observation, from life. More observational drawing. And on the right hand page we have the bar on the first floor of the Sir Henry Tate pub in Chorley. On the right hand page, an object which I often enjoy to sketch is that of a chair. On the left, rapid sketches of different faces, and this is my favourite car, the Citroën 2CV. Beep beep! I'm sure you will have noted I do include written notes with my sketches. They just serve as a further prompt to help me more easily recall the time at which I made the sketch. On the left is a sketch I produced whilst enjoying a drink in the ale station of a vehicle parked outside. This is a sketch I produced in McDonald's of a child's high chair. Turning over, on the left hand page we have a cruet stand. Quite an interesting page on the right of different figures. I particularly like this little dog. Woof woof. I do like to sketch objects which have a rounded form, gentle and smooth curves. I just can't help myself when I'm out and about. I've just got to sketch. I just have this irresistible desire, appetite to get my sketchbook and draw whatever or whoever I see. The everyday, the world around, the world with which some of us are familiar. Another drawing of a car, a subject which I find very difficult to capture convincingly, but sometimes you've just got to go for it, you've just got to seize that nettle. Lots of quick portraits. I particularly like this hand, the way the subject was holding her mobile phone. Okay, right, moving on. I find it such good practice to draw the ellipse created by the rim of a cup and the edge of a saucer when viewed at an angle. I don't often sketch plants or trees or other things from nature and make more of an effort to do so. This is my favourite sketch in this book. This young couple that was sat at a table in a pub in Blackpool, and they were oblivious to everyone around them. They were just busy chatting. They looked so into each other. They looked so happy and so sweet. It was so nice to see that happiness, that joy. J2O, orange and passion fruit. Very nice and very sweet. Continuing to the next page. I was staying at a hotel in Blackpool, and this is the sketch I produced one evening from my bed. I often include my hands and sketchbook in my composition whilst capturing the scene before me. The mirror effect of the scene within the sketchbook amuses me. Ooh, hot strong coffee. Again, here I'm practicing those elliptical shapes. I do believe there is an artist in every one of us. There is so much joy to be had from creativity. If you don't already draw or paint, do give it a go, give it a try. Find that inner artist in yourself. These cars have been observed from a slightly elevated viewpoint, which makes them less familiar. It makes you ask different questions. I don't have a particular interest in modern vehicles other than the artistic challenge that they provide. Here I'm trying to utilise every bit of space in my sketchbook. For practical reasons of convenience, I typically use a ballpoint or a fibre-tipped pen rather than pencil, which can so easily smudge and can often require sharpening. I like the commitment which goes with using a pen. You have to work with your mistakes, unlike a pencil, which can so easily be erased. I wouldn't say I have my own particular style. I'm still striving towards establishing a style that's recognisable as being mine, as being my own way of communicating my work. Yet more vehicles, a car on the left and a bus on the right hand page. I always try to use every page in my sketchbook. This is sometimes rather difficult, especially when the sketchbook is nearing completion and you just really want to get the book finished so you can start with a new sketchbook. Oh, different faces, and here we have Tony from Winsford. I remember chatting to Tony and his friends. On the left, another cruet stand. On the right, another popular subject for myself, a passenger on a train. I often feel it's the medium which I use that determines the actual style, the actual appearance of the sketch. For instance, a black ballpoint pen can achieve quite a wide range of different tonal values that can't be achieved with a black fibre-tipped pen, which is far more limited. It's either black or nothing. I've concluded this sketchbook with the use of some colour. This illustration is just fabric of my imagination. I don't wish this YouTube channel to be limited exclusively to sketchbook tours. I want to provide a more varied content. My intention is to film the production of a sketch or maybe a painting from start to finish, so you can gain an understanding into how I actually go about my work. Please like and subscribe. Your encouragement for me to produce further videos will be very much appreciated. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you found it to be of interest. If you have any comments, please include them below. Cheerio!